Hi guys, welcome to my level 2 mat Pilates class. Just a couple of things before we get started. My classes are designed for people who already have a basic level of fitness. So if you do have any underlying conditions that may prevent you from completing the class, please do check with your health professional before attempting it. This is a level 2 to 3 class, which means I expect you to have a good understanding of some of the more traditional terms in Pilates, such as pelvic floor, neutral pelvis, neutral spine, the hundreds, the roll up, and we are going to be working the whole body. So everything from the abs to the deep core, the back, hips, glutes, hamstrings, arms, chest, everything. You name it, I've got it covered. So, if you are ready to sweat, let's get started. Come lying down onto your back, feet flat on the ground, knees bent up to about 90 degrees. Have your arms resting down by your side. Draw the ribcage down, narrow through the waist, relax your head and shoulders, and close your eyes. Visualize every vertebra in your spine gently melting down into your mat. Allow your ribcage to soften from front to back, and allow your head to be heavy. From this relaxed position, take your awareness to your spine. Notice that your tailbone is resting down heavy on the mat. As you journey up through your spine, there's a natural arc in your lower back. The back of your ribcage is resting down on the mat. There's a natural arc in your neck, and the back of your head is resting on the mat. Soften your chin towards your throat, lengthening through the back of your neck, and there you have your neutral spine. From here, taking your awareness to your pelvis, start to gently rock your pelvis forwards and backwards, keeping your tailbone connected to the mat. So tucking and arching, moving through the two extremes, warming up the muscles in your lower back and your belly. So overarching your back and then flattening through the back, overarching and flattening. And then allow your pelvis to settle into the midpoint between the tuck and the arch. So your hip bones and your pubic bone should be on the same horizontal plane. And there you have your neutral pelvis. From here, taking your awareness to your breathing, place your hands on the sides of your ribcage, fingers facing in towards each other. And take a deep breath into the back of your lungs, the sides of your ribs and the front of your belly. And breathe out, relax, and allow the air to naturally escape the body. And again, another deep breath into your back, your sides and your belly. And breathe out, relax, and allow the air to naturally escape the body. And again, another deep breath into your back, your sides and your belly. And this time as you breathe out, squeeze the air out of your lungs, lifting your pelvic floor, drawing your navel to your spine and sliding your ribs to your hips. Release, breathe into your back, your sides and your belly. Breathe out, squeeze the air out of your lungs, lifting your pelvic floor, drawing your navel to your spine and sliding your ribs to your hips. Now, keeping your navel and your pelvic floor firm, take a small breath into your back and your sides only. And breathe out, squeeze the air out of your lungs, keeping your navel and your pelvic floor firm. And again, keeping your navel and your pelvic floor firm, take a small breath into your back and sides. And breathe out, squeeze the air out of your lungs, keeping your navel and your pelvic floor firm. That's your Pilates breathing. So try to think about that for the rest of the workout. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Have your thumbs running down the side of your neck. Bring your elbows slightly forward so you can see them in your peripheral vision. And press your head back into your hands. Drop the chin slightly down towards the throat, elongating through the back of the neck, and draw the lower ribcage down towards the spine. Take a breath in to prepare. As you breathe out, curl your head and chest forwards for 1, and breathe in, slowly release. Breathe out, curling forwards for 2, and breathe in, back. Breathe out, curling forwards for 3, breathe in, return. Slide the ribcage towards the hips for 4, and breathe in, back. Breathe out, curling forwards for 5, breathe in, return. Breathe out, curling forwards for 6, and back. Keep the knees tracking parallel towards the ceiling for 7, and back. Elbows open, curling forwards for 8. Let's add a twist, and back. Take your right shoulder to your left knee for 1, and breathe in, back. Breathe out, left shoulder comes over, and return. Right shoulder over for 2, and back, and breathe out, left. Keep all 10 toes connected to the floor for 3, and return. Breathe out, left, and back. Breathe out, right shoulder over for 4, return, and breathe out, left. And then come up through the center for 16 little pulses. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, pulse 5, 6, 7, 8 to go. 4, 1, just in the mid-range. 3, 4, pulse 5, 6, 7, and 8. Coming all the way down. Bring your right knee up into tabletop, followed by your left. We're going to repeat the sequence with our knees up. So 90-degree angle at the hips, 90-degree angle at the knees, elbows open, take a breath in to prepare. As you breathe out, lift the chest for 1, breathe in, back. Keep the pelvis stable for 2, and return. Breathe out, curl forwards for 3, and back. Slide the ribcage down towards the hips for 4. Breathe out, lifting the chest for 5, and back. Squeeze knees, ankles, feet together, 6, and return. Breathe out, curling forwards for 7, and back. Breathe out, curling forwards for 8. Let's add a twist. Take your right shoulder to your left knee, keeping the pelvis stable for 1. Breathe in, back. Breathe out, left shoulder comes over, and return. Right shoulder over for 2, and back. And breathe out, left, and return. Right shoulder over for 3, and back, and breathe out, left. Return, last one each side for 4, and back, and breathe out, left. Now coming up through the center for 16 pulses. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, pulse 5, 6, 7, 8 to go. 4, 1, shoulder blades up. 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, and 8. Slowly release the feet down one at a time. Release your hands out to a T position. Take your knees over to the right. Turn your head to the left. This should just feel good. Really stretching through the side waist, stretching through the belly, coming up through center. Other side, knees go to the left. Head and chest go to the right. Making sure to keep that right shoulder anchored into the floor. One more each side. Coming up. Knees go right, head and chest go left. Pressing that left shoulder blade into the floor as you really take the knees over to stretch through the left side waist. And then coming up through center. One more. Knees go left, head and chest go right. And then coming up through the center. Extend both of your legs out, arms come up over your head. We're going into our roll-ups. Squeezing your feet, ankles, knees, inner thighs together, drawing the lower ribcage down towards the spine and reaching your arms up long over your head. Take an inhale, lift head, neck and shoulders and roll all the way up into your C-curve, stretching long over your thighs. Reach the arms forwards, point the toes, shoulders down away from your ears, maintaining that C-curve. Take an inhale here through the back and sides of the ribcage. And as you breathe out, feel as if your belly button is being pulled through the back of your spine as you roll all the way back down, squeezing the inner thighs together nice and slowly, placing each vertebra back down on the mat one at a time, lifting your arms up over your head, And again, breathing in, lift your head, neck and shoulders, rolling all the way forwards into your C curve. Try and go a little bit deeper into the stretch. Bend the knees if you need to take the stress off the back of the thighs. Reaching forwards, C curving out your spine. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, nice and slowly, drop the shoulders down away from your ears. C curving out the spine, rolling all the way back down. Using the core, controlling the movement, placing each vertebra down on the mat one at a time. Lift your arms up overhead, and last one, breathing in, rolling all the way forwards into your C curve. Have a nice stretch here over the thighs, reaching forwards. Take an inhale through the back and sides of the rib cage, and as you breathe out, maintaining that C curve, we're going to go down for a count of 8. And for 2, nice and slowly. For 3, navel to spine. And 4, shoulders down. For 5, squeeze inner thighs. And 6, reaching forwards. For 7, and for 8. And lay your arms behind you. Well done, everyone. Okay, we're going into our first set of 2 sets of hundreds. The first set we're going to do with our legs static, so finding your hundreds position and then maintaining that position throughout the exercise. The second set, optional, we're going to lift and lower the legs as one unit together. So let's establish our hundreds position. With our legs extended and our arms extended overhead, make sure that you are engaging the rib cage, so draw those lower ribs down towards the spine. Take a breath in as you slide your toes along the floor, and then breathe out, curl forwards and extend your legs into your hundreds position. The lower you take your legs, the stronger for your abs. The higher you take your legs, the less pressure on the back. So find a position that works for you, that's strong in the abdominals but also safe in the back. Once you've found your position, you're going to pump your arms, breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in 5, head down if your neck feels weak, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in 7, strong arms, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in 9, and out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, touch your toes to the floor and slide them along and away. Have a quick stretch here, getting ready for our second set of hundreds, this time lifting and lowering the legs if that's right for you. Otherwise, just keep your legs in the same position as you did the first round. Here we go. Slide your toes along the floor. Curl forwards, extend your legs into your hundreds position and pump your arms. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe out and lower. 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe in and lift. 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe out and lower. 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe in for 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe out and lower. 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe in for 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe out and lower. 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe in for 5, head down if your neck feels weak, and lower. 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe in for 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe out and lower. 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe in for 7, shoulder blades off the floor, and lower. 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe in for 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe out and lower. 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe in for 9, breathe out and lower. 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe in for 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe out and lower. 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. Well done, everyone. Have a nice stretch here. Just reach the arms away, reach the legs away. So from this position, place your feet flat on the floor, nice and close into your bottom, knees about 90 degrees. Arms come down by your side. So we're going into our hips, thighs and bottom section now. It's optional if you want to keep your arms down by your side. Progressing the exercise, having your arms reaching up towards the ceiling, that's absolutely up to you, what you prefer. We're going to start off with some glute bridges. So making sure that your knees are parallel, tracking up towards the ceiling, and that your ankles, your knees, and your hips are all in one line. Relax the head down, relax the arms down by your side. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, lift the bottom straight up into the air, no tucking of the tail, and then lower the hips down. Lifting up, squeeze your bottom, and lowering down. Lift up, squeeze for 3, let's speed it up a bit, and lower. Breathe out, lift and squeeze 4, and return. Breathe out, lift and squeeze 5, and return. Breathe out, lift and squeeze 6, and down. Breathe out, lift and squeeze 7, return. Breathe out, lift and squeeze 8, and down. 8 to go. 4, 1, and return. Breathe out 2, and down. Really squeeze for 3, return. Make sure you're not overarching your back, and squeeze for 5, and down. Navel to spine for 6, return. 2 more for 7, and down. Squeeze for 8. Now keep your bottom lifted into the air. Really squeeze the bottom, working the hamstrings. Shift all of your body weight over to the left side, so working the left bottom, left hamstring. And we're going to float our right knee up into tabletop. Extend the leg up to straight, and then turn the thigh out slightly, so your inner thigh is facing you. We're going into leg circles, so opening out to the side for 1. Cross your center, lift. Circle out to the side for 2. Breathing into lift. Circle for 3, and up. Circle for 4, breathe in, lift. And for 5, really working that left bottom, left hamstring for 6, and up. Circle for 7, lift, and for 8. Now we reverse. So we cross our center down, circle out to the side and lift. Down for 2, breathe in, lift. And for 3, and up. Circle for 4, breathe in, lift. And for 5, don't let those hips drop. And for 6, 2 more for 7, lift, circle for 8. Now keep the hips lifted, keep your right leg extended, flex your right foot, and we're just going to lower our hips down to just above the ground, and then you'll push your hips up as if you're stepping on the ceiling. So really push those hips up, really work that left bottom, left hamstring. Lowering down for 2, and push, and for 3, and lift. Lower down for 4, and for 5, and lift. Lower for 6, up. 2 more for 7, lift. Lower down for 8. Now keep those hips lifted, point your right toes, lower that leg down towards the floor, then flex your right foot and kick it all the way up. So point lower down for 2, flex and kick. Point lower for 3, and up. Down for 4, flex and kick. Point lower for 5, up. Your left bottom, left hamstring should really be burning. 6, lift, point lower for 7, lift, point lower for 8, and up. Place your right foot down, square up your hips, just squeeze and lift a little higher. We're going straight over to the other side. So we float our left foot up, extend it up towards the ceiling, turn that thigh out slightly so your left inner thigh is facing you, and we're circling out to the side for 1. Cross your center, lift. Circling around for 2, breathing into lift. And for 3, and up. Circle for 4, making sure your pelvis stays nice and stable. For 5, lift. 6, and up. Circle for 7, lift, and for 8. Now reverse. Cross your center down, circle out to the side and lift. And for 2, breathe in, lift. Circle for 3, up. And for 4, Breathe in, lift. Circle for 5. Really work that right bottom, right hamstring for 6. For 7. Lift. And for 8. Bring that left leg up. So flex your left foot. Lower the hips down towards the ground for 1. And then push your foot to the ceiling. And then lower down for 2. And push. Lower for 3. And lift. Down for 4. Really push it up. And for 5. Work that right bottom, right hamstring. For 6. Lift. 7. Lift. Lower down for 8. And push. Point those left toes. Lower that left leg down towards the ground. Then flex your foot and kick it up. And point lower for 2. Flex and kick. Lower for 3. Kick. Point lower for 4. Flex and kick. Lower down 5. Nearly there. Point lower for 6. 2 more. 7. Flex and kick. Point lower for 8. Flex and kick. Place your left foot back down. Square your hips off. Lift both of them up. And then slowly roll your spine all the way down until your tailbone is on the ground, and then pick up your knees, give yourself a nice hug. Just rocking back, side to side, releasing any tensions built up in the lower back area. And then just do some little circles, 3 in one direction. Make sure you go back 3 in the other direction. And then extend your legs. We're going into our hamstring stretch. So anchoring the back of your right thigh down into the ground, pick up behind your left thigh. Make sure there's a tiny bend in your left knee, protecting the knee joint. And then push the ball of your left foot towards the ceiling. Spread the toes. Really stretch the front of the foot and the ankle. Comfortably hold onto your left leg wherever is comfortable for you. And then we're going to push the leg into our hands as we pull the leg back towards us at the same time. So we're going to create a stretch of equal and opposite resistance. We're going to push and pull at the same time. It's much safer for the knee joint. It's much safer for the hip, and you get a much more effective stretch into the hamstring. So, holding on, elbows out to the side, shoulders are down, right thigh is anchored. Push into the hands and pull back towards you for a count of 5. And for 2, navel to spine. For 3, back of the neck is long. And 4, elbows out to the side. I should see you shaking. And 5, release the tension and draw that left leg a little bit closer in towards your chest. And again, we're going to do that exact stretch again. So pushing and pulling at the same time. Here we go. For 1, right thigh is anchored into the ground. For 2, rib cage is engaged. And 3, back of the neck is long. For 4, really pull and push. And 5, good. Release the tension. Draw that left leg a little bit closer in towards your body. And other side. Extending your left leg, pressing that left thigh into the ground, picking up behind your right thigh. Spread the toes, press the right ball of your foot towards the ceiling, really stretching the front of the ankle. Again, pushing and pulling at the same time. Here we go. Pushing away for 1 and for 2. Chin down. And for 3, engage the ribs. For 4, little bend in the right knee. And for 5, good. Release the tension, draw that right leg a little bit closer in towards your chest. And again, last time, we're pushing and pulling at the same time. Here we go. For 1, shoulders down, and 2, navel to spine, pushing away. 3, really push the ball of your foot towards the ceiling. 4, left thigh stays anchored. And for 5, good, release the tension, draw that right leg a little bit closer in towards your chest. A little bit of shaking is good. It means your nervous system is awake and responding. And then place that right leg on the ground. So rolling towards the front of the room to come up. And we're going into our abdominal section. So moving to the very front of your mat, we're going to do an exercise called rolling like a ball that will intro us into our ab section. So bring yourself, as the name suggests, into a tight little ball. Wrap your arms either around the front of your shins, or if you want to make it a little easier, you can have them underneath your knees. C-curve out your spine, eye gaze is down towards your navel. Keep the shoulders down away from your ears, and then once you're in a comfortable position, lift your toes up off the ground. So the aim of the exercise is to roll back onto your shoulder blades, and then without using momentum, but using your core, to come back up into this position without touching the floor with your toes. So it looks a little something like this. Okay, so let's do 8 with the breath. So you breathe in, roll back 1, breathe out, lift and bounce. Breathing in, roll back 2, and up. Breathe in 3, and lift. Breathe in, roll back 4, and up. Breathe in, roll back 5, and lift. Stay in a nice tight little ball for 6, and up. 2 more for 7, and lift. Last one for 8, and up. Well done, everyone. Bring your knees up into tabletop, and then nice and slowly reaching your arms forward, we're rolling down. Interlacing your fingers behind your head, thumbs running down the side of your neck, knees in tabletop. Get those shoulder blades up off the ground. Really draw the ribcage down towards the spine. We're starting off with single leg stretch. So keeping the chest nice and stable, we extend our right leg out and then bring it back into tabletop. Extend the left and in, keeping the pelvis nice and stable. Right for 2, breathing in, breathe out left and in. Right for 3, in, breathe out left and in. Right for 4, in, breathe out left. Let's add a twist. Extend your right leg, twist to your left knee for 1, in, and the left. In, right for 2, in, breathe out left. In, right for 3, breathe out left. In, right for 4, in, left. Let's do 4 more each side. Right for 5, in, breathe out left. In, right for 6, left. Really keep those ribs engaged for 7, left. Last one each side, and left. Good. Now keeping the knees in tabletop, release the hands and bring your hands to the sides of your knees. We're going into double leg stretch. Extend the legs and the arms at the same time, and then sweep around and lift. Extend for 2 and in. Extend for 3 and in. And for 4, in. 5, bend. 6, bend. Really working those abdominals, those muscles of the deep core. Now extend both of your legs up towards the ceiling. Hands come back behind your head. We're going into our double leg lowers. Now only take your legs as low as feels safe for your back, but strong in the abs. Here we go. Lowering all the way down for 1 and lift. Lower down for 2 and up. And for 3, you You can place your hands underneath your bottom if you need a little bit of support. Head down for 4 and up. 4 more. 4, 5 and lift. Lower down for 6 and up. Down for 7. Lift. Last one for 8 and up. Now keeping the legs up there, holding behind the left thigh, really pull yourself up. We're going to lower the right leg down with a little pulse and then swap quickly. Pulse and right, left, right 3, pulse, left, pulse, right 4, pulse, left, pulse, right 5, pulse, left, pulse, 6, left, 7, left, last one, 8, and left, bringing the legs back up. Release the head. This is our last exercise. We're going into our pendulum. So bringing your arms out to the side, keeping the legs nice and straight. We're going to move as one unit, drawing the rib cage down, taking the legs over to the right, nice and slowly as far as they can go without losing your left shoulder, anchored into the ground. And then use your abdominals to draw the legs back up through center. Nice and slowly. Legs go over to the left, keeping that right shoulder anchored into the ground. Use your abdominals to draw those legs back up through center. Nice and slowly, moving like a clock. Legs go over to the right. Left shoulder stays anchored. Draw those legs back up through center using your abdominals. Over to the left. And then coming up. One more each side. Legs stuck together. Over to the right. Anchor that left shoulder down as you draw the legs back up. Last one, legs go over to the left. And then coming up through the center. Place your feet down on the ground. Keep your arms out to the side. And just take your knees over to the right. Turn your head to the left. This should just feel good. Really feel that stretch through the left side waist. And then coming up through the center. Over to the left. Coming up through the center, one more each side. Knees go right, head goes left. Up through the center, knees to the left, head to the right. And then up through the center. So whenever I do abdominal work, I always like to counter it with doing some back work. I believe that when you do flexion, you should also do some extension. So let's flip over onto our bellies. So coming down onto the belly, eye gaze down towards the floor. Make sure that you are tucking your tailbone under. Really press your pubic bone into the mat. That will just resist the urge to compress in that lower back area and protect that lower back. It will also switch your glutes on to make sure that they're firing as well. So really reach your legs out long and strong. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. Switch the bottom on and then bring your hands up underneath your forehead, one hand on top of the other. Back of the neck is nice and long, rib cage engaged. Take a breath. As you breathe out, lifting from your middle back, up as far as you can without crunching into the lower back and lowering down. Lifting up for 2 and lower. Lift for 3, down. Taking the hands with you for 4 and lower. Breathing out 5 and down. Really working the mid-back. 6, 7, but keeping that bottom engaged, keeping that tailbone tucking under for 8, and down. Now lifting up, staying up. We're going to pivot over towards the right, and then back to the center, keeping the pelvis stable. Pivot left and center, really working those deep muscles around the spine, and left, center, right for 3, and left, center, right for 4, center, and left, 4 to go, right for 5, keep the shoulders down, right for 6, squeeze the bottom, 2 more, 7, and left, and right for 8, center, left. Now come to the center, keep the chest lifted. We're going to extend both of the arms out as if we're saluting, and in. Stretch out for 2, and bend, and for 3, and for 4, 4 to go. Stretch for 5, legs long and strong for 6, for 7, and 8. Now keep the arms stretching out, and we are swimming for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, for 1, 2, 3. We're doing 4 sets, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7. Last set, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, and 8, and relax. Allow the tension just to run out of the back, and then push yourself up and sit back onto your heels into your child's pose, your rest pose. Rest your forehead onto your mat. Push yourself back onto your heels. Keep this stretch nice and active. Connect back to the breath. And just relax in this position for a few moments. You can walk both of your hands over towards the right, stretching out the left side of the body, but make sure that your left sit bone still stays connected to your left heel. And then walking both of your hands over to the left side of the mat, stretching out the right side of your body, again making sure that right sit bone stays down onto the right heel. And then coming back through the center, just push yourself back for that extra stretch. And then slowly come sitting up, ready to get into our side waist. So, come lying down onto your side. Rest your arm underneath your head just to protect, keep your neck in neutral. Extend both of your legs out. Make sure that your underneath waist side is lifted. So there should be a nice space between the mat and your underneath waist, keeping the spine again in its neutral position. Extend both of your legs out nice and long and strong. Just bring them slightly forward, just so that you can see your toes. Now your top arm can be anywhere that is comfortable for you. If you need some support, by all means place it down on the ground. You can have it onto the top of your waist. You can reach it up towards the sky, wherever feels comfortable for you. That doesn't inhibit the exercise we're about to do. So hips are stacked, top hip directly on top of the bottom hip. Legs are extended nice and long and strong. And we're going to lift both of our legs up into the air without losing the integrity of that underneath side waist lift, and then lower them down. Maybe start a few with your hand down in front of you just for support, and lower, And then when you feel comfortable with the exercise, you can move your top hand wherever feels good for you. So we're lifting for 4 and lower. Lifting for 5. Think about extending the legs away from you rather than lifting them straight up. So we're elongating as we lift. For 6, down, 7, down, and 8. Now, keep the legs lifted, and we're just lifting our top leg for 1 and 2. Underneath side waist lifted for 3 and for 4. Keep that bottom leg lifted nice and high for 5, for 6, for 7, and for 8. Good. Now we're just going to lift and lower the bottom leg. So we lower down for 1 and lift. Down for 2, lift. Navel to spine for 3, lift. And for 4, and for 5, lift. 6, and for 7, lift. And for 8. Good. Now keep both legs lifted, and we're going to scissors. So the top leg comes forward, the bottom leg goes back for 1 and center and left. Good. Top forwards, center, now the bottom and center. Top for 3 and bottom. Top for 4 and bottom. Good. And lift and lower the legs down. We're going to do all of that on the other side. So spin around, making sure that you are supporting your neck and your head with your underneath arm. Again, extend your legs out, underneath side waist lifted. Hips are stacked, so top hip directly above the bottom hip, and extend the legs, and we're lifting both legs up for 1 and lower. Lifting for 2, down, and for 3, lower. Lifting for 4, stretch the legs long and away for 5, and for 6, down, for 7, and for 8. Now keep those legs extended, and we're just lifting our top leg for 1 and lower, and for 2, and for 3. Keep that bottom leg lifted nice and high for 4, underneath waist lifted for 5, for 6, down, 7, and for 8. Good. Now just the bottom leg. Lower down for 1 and lift. Lower for 2, up, and for 3, lift. Lower for 4 and up. 5, and for 6, lower down for 7, lift, and for 8, and lift. Now we're scissoring, so the top leg goes forward, the bottom leg goes back for 1, and reverse. Top leg for 2, and scissor. Top leg for 3, and scissor. Top leg for 4, and scissor. Top leg for 5, and scissor. And for 6, and scissor. 2 more. 7, scissor. Last one for 8, and scissor. And lower the legs down. Coming up, we're going to do a little bit of side bend and then into a side stretch. So, coming back to the first side, you're going to cross your top foot in front of your bottom foot. So your underneath leg is bent to about 90 degrees, just resting on the side, and your top foot is in front. Place your left hand down onto the mat, or whichever hand you are working on, and we're going to lift up into a nice side bend. So pushing all the way up, really focusing on the underneath side waist, so lifting up through that underneath side waist, and lift your top arm over. And then we come back down into our start position. And we're lifting up for 2, and lower. Lifting up for 3, really squeeze the inner thighs together, and down. Lifting up for 4, and down. 4 more. 4, 5, and lower. Lifting up for 6, and down. 2 more for 7, and lower. Last one for 8, and down. Let's go to the other side. So spinning around. Again, your top foot flat on the floor, underneath leg, bent to 90 degrees, and your hand is about 1 meter away from your body, or just less. Top hand resting onto the knee, and we're going to push up into a nice arc, and then we lower all the way down. And we lift up for 2, and lower. Pushing up for 3, make it a nice flowing movement, and 4, and down, really working on that underneath side waist for 5, and lower, lifting up for 6, and down, 2 more for 7, and lower, last one for 8, and down. Let's go into a beautiful mermaid stretch to stretch out the side waist. So we're going to come into what's called an open fourth or a Z position. So you've got one leg in front, the other leg is bent behind you, sitting up nice and tall, reaching your arms out to the side. And we're going to come over into a beautiful side stretch, trying to keep both of those sit bones anchored into the mat. And then coming up over to the other side, really lifting up and over, up out of the sit bones. Feel the space created between the vertebra, between each rib. Drop that bottom shoulder down, and then coming up again, up and over. Come down as far as you can so it's nice and comfortable, and then lifting up. And then other side. So we bring our other leg in front, bend the other one behind, stretching the arms out to the side. We're coming up and over into that side stretch. If you can't get that elbow down, that's absolutely fine. Just come into a stretch that feels good for you. Really try and create space in between each rib. Feel them separating. And then coming up over to the other side. And then coming up and over. And last one. And coming up. So we're going to move into our next section, which is for our glutes. So we're going to come standing up into the center of our mat, bringing the feet nice and close together, and we're going to come down into a squat position. Pitch your spine forward so it's almost parallel to the ground, keeping the knees bent. So you want to stick your bottom out. Bring the tummy in, bottom out, without overarching the back. So we're in a squat position. This exercise is a variation on the scooter exercise. And what we will be focusing on is in the leg that you're actually standing on. So the leg that will be doing the work as such is not the focus. It's the isolated muscle group of the leg that you're standing on, which is really where you're going to be feeling this, well, hopefully feeling it. So we're going to shift all of our body weight over into the left leg. We're going to pick our right toes up off the floor. And the variations that we're going to be doing, we were going to be doing 8 scooters straight back. So we're going to go in and out 8 times. Then we do 8 off to the diagonal. Then we do 8 to the side. Then we're going to do 8 circles in one direction. And then 8 circles in the other direction. And then we're going to switch over to the other side. Okay, and as I said, it's going to be, you're going to be feeling it on the leg that you're standing on. So let's begin. Come down into your squat position, shift all the body weight over to your left side, pick up your right toes. Here we go, straight back for 1, in, 2, in, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now the diagonal for 1, 2, 3, 4. Keeping the hips nice and stable. 5, 6, 7. Now 8 to the side. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now 8 circles back. For 1 and in. Circle 2, in and 3, in, 4, in, circle 5, in, 6, in, 7, and 8, and reverse. 1, in, 2, in, and 3. Don't lose your depth in your knee bend. 5, 6, 7, last one, 8, and in and up. Give that left leg, woo, a little shake. And we've got to do the whole thing on the other side. So, coming down into our nice deep squat, pitching the spine forward, shifting the weight over to our right side, picking the left toes up, and we go back for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now the diagonal for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7. Now to the side for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now circle. 1, in, 2, in, 3, and 4. Circle 5, and 6, 4, 7, and 8, and reverse. Side, back, in, 2, in, 3, in, 4, in, 5, 6, 2 more, 7, and 8, and in. Ah! Let's stretch that out, shall we? So come lying down onto your back. Cross your right ankle over your left knee, pick up behind your left thigh. Flex your right foot and press your right ankle into your left knee as you draw that knee towards your chest. You should be feeling a nice stretch in your right bottom cheek. If this is enough for you, then just stay here. Otherwise, you want to increase the stretch, anchor your tailbone down and arch your lower back as you draw that left knee in towards your chest. You should be getting a bit of an extra stretch there in your right bottom cheek. And other side, left ankle over right knee. Picking up behind your right thigh, flex your left ankle and press that ankle into your right knee as you draw that knee back towards your chest. Again, if this is enough of a stretch for you, then just stay here. Otherwise, you can anchor your tailbone down and arch your lower back to give yourself a little bit of an extra stretch in that left bottom. Release that left foot. Just hug both of your knees into your chest. Rock back and forth. Just do 3 little circles in one direction. And then 3 circles in the other direction. And then bring yourself up as we move into our final section, my favorite section, the push-up section. So we're going to move from here into the final section, which is the push-up section. This is a progressive exercise, so we're going to add a repetition with each time we do it. So we're going to do 1 to 5, and then we're going to regress back down to 1. There's going to be a couple of options for you. For those of you who want to do it on your toes, it will look something like this. You'll come into your plank position, you'll do a push-up, and then you're going to come into a transition position of a downward dog or an up stretch, as we call it in Pilates. Then you come forwards and you do 2 push-ups. 1, 2, and then coming up into the up stretch. And then coming forwards, 3 push-ups, then into the up stretch, then 4, then 5, and then we go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. For those of you who want to do the push-ups on your knees, your transition will be into child's pose. So coming into the push-up position, 1 push-up, and then sit back on your heels. And then coming forwards, 2 push-ups, 3, 4, 5, etc., etc. So you can start on your toes and come down onto your knees if you want to, however you want to do it. We're focusing on chest, arms, obviously core, and then keeping that flowing movement going. So I prefer you to regress down onto your knees than lose your form. All right, so let's get started. Come into whatever position you would prefer to do your push-ups. I'm going to do them on my knees. And here we go, 1 push-up. And then into your transition. So up stretch or child's pose. Come forwards, 2 push-ups. 1, 2, and back. And forwards for 3 push-ups. For 1, 2, 3. And sitting back or into your up stretch. And then forwards for 4. For 1, 2, 3, 4. And sitting back. And then coming forwards for 5. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and back. We're halfway there. Coming forwards for 5, for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and back or up stretch. And coming forwards for 4, for 1, 2, 3, 4, and back. Nearly there. Coming forwards for 3. Don't lose your form. 2, 3, and back. Coming forwards for 2. 1, 2, and back. Last one. Coming all the way forwards. 1 push-up and up. Come into your transition. And then coming up to sit. However feels comfortable for you. Coming up on your knees, cross-legged. Let's do some arm stretches. So, let's start with our wrists. If you're on your wrist doing the push-ups, bring your left arm forwards and just tuck that hand underneath you. Use your right hand to apply a little bit of pressure, not too much. So we're just stretching the wrist in the opposite direction. And then other side. Good, we're going to bring our left arm across the body. Fold that right arm up and over the left forearm. Keeping that left arm as straight as possible. Drop that left shoulder down away from your ears. Press your forearms together. And then tilt your head over towards your fingers to get a nice stretch down the left side of the neck. Keep dropping that left shoulder down.
really creating some space between the shoulder and the ear, stretching the neck out. Lift your head, release the arms, other side, right arm comes across, left arm folds up and over, press the forearms together, drop that right shoulder down away from your ear, tilt the head over towards the left, towards your fingers. Good. Come up, interlace your fingers behind your back, so try and keep the palms pressing together as you push your hands down towards your tailbone, and then lift your arms up as much as you can, stretching across the front of the chest. Really feel like you're pushing away. If your shoulders feel okay with it, you can lean forwards. Continue lifting your arms up. Carefully come up, release the hands. 3 shoulder rolls in one direction. 3 shoulder rolls in the other direction. And you are cooked. Thank you so much for joining me today on the mat. I will be recording and uploading many more Pilates classes for you to enjoy and share. If you have any questions, any concerns, anything at all, please DM me, either Instagram or via my email, and I hope to hear from you soon. See you later on the mat.